Well, here in Northwest Ohio, we're used to a lot of different weather conditions, from heat waves to cold, snowstorms to tornadoes. But what about solar weather? What about space weather in general? Let's go over to Dan Seaton. He's from the University of Colorado, a NOAA solar scientist. Explain a little bit of what space weather is, Dan.
Yeah, just like we have weather on Earth that comes from changing conditions in the atmosphere, we have weather in space that comes from changing conditions on the sun. The sun's an active star. Periodically, it has outbursts of energetic particles.
Now, the sun just completed a week solar cycle overall. We're emerging from the solar minimum. What do you think we have in store for this new solar cycle that's coming up?
The sun's been really quiet for a couple of years, and it's going to start to ramp up over the next few years. We'll see more solar flares, which are large explosions on the sun that drive these energetic events that we worry about when we do space weather forecasting. That leads to effects like potential outages for satellites, potential disruption of power grids, but also effects like expanded auroras sometimes.
For folks that have that on their bucket list and maybe they don't want to or they can't travel to see the northern lights at northern latitudes, what do you think those odds are that we were able to see that a little bit more here coming up in the years ahead?
Yeah, when space weather activity increases, the auroral oval can expand. So you see it further south, as you were talking about. You can see it maybe in Michigan or Ohio. So I think there's a really good chance that people who pay attention and listen to the forecast may be able to get outside and see that once or twice in the coming 4 or 5 years.
So I guess today we've got all this new technology. Is that a good thing for us or a bad thing when it comes to a potential major solar event like the Carrington event?
So yeah, I think overall it's good, but it certainly it adds some complexity to the mix that people like me worry about and want to make sure that we're prepared for.
Well, thanks, Dan. We certainly appreciate it here, getting that insight from you when it comes to solar weather. Obviously, the weather, very interesting all the way through parts of Ohio and Michigan, but there's a lot going on up above our heads, too, that sometimes we don't think about. So we'll be watching for some of that heightened activity coming up in the years ahead.